Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. The All right. Welcome, people. Welcome. Let's bear with me for a second. Just sending out the notice of the live stream. Just got a couple more places to do it to. Hope everybody's doing well today. I hope everybody's doing well today. Just bear with me 1 second. And see if I get on TikTok real quick to advertise there. Guess not. Hmm. All right. I guess I can go ahead and get started with the live stream. Um, I don't have too much pages to market here. So anyway, first of all, let's say welcome to the Etherealverse YouTube channel, and my name is Dion Robinson, of course, aka Ethereal Author, and pretty much here I want to present to you a live stream um, about fantasy map building. Pretty much over the past year, I have delved into this subject on personal projects. Excuse me, personal projects. Like, I don't know if you saw that on camera, but that's cool. Got a little yarn there. But anyway, I don't know if you saw maybe about a couple months ago I had did a video pretty much discussing the map of Terrace from my book series. And pretty much I always wanted to get online to show you how did I do it, or how did I did it, as far as like, designing a map for a book series or for my book series. So pretty much but first of all, I have to say, like, I had a lot of trial and error, because I was, pretty much I was new to map designing, still new to the map designing, as far as like, getting geography, topographies, and understanding land mass, how they form, tectonic plates, whatever. Pretty much researching that, how would a land mass will form on such, on such parts, whether it could be internal forces or external forces, and what I mean by that. With the internal forces, as whether it be like volcanic movement, tectonic plate shifting and stuff like that. Also, what I mean by exterior, outer influences such as like meteorites hitting the planet or whatever, whatever natural disaster or unnatural disaster may cause in that realm, may happen to form a landmass, and oceans and stuff like that, and also understanding cultures, like how would a culture form, why would this realm be such the way it is, which I will go more into deeper meaning later, if I choose to decide to talk about that topic of developing cultures, which I am still learning how to do today. But nevertheless, though, I want to get started and showing you like how did I started, map building, and pretty much also going to show you a lot of my. I'm also going to show you a lot of my maps a lot of my failed maps. As you see, you may see a few here, but and some you may see new because I'm still experimenting on this website, which I'm going to introduce right now. So as you can see, right now this website is called incarnate.com. Pretty much incarnate.com is very, very good for beginners who are looking forward to designing a map of their own. Pretty much, I find it very easy to use, especially me being a Photoshop user, because it seems like that, incarnate interface has a lot of Photoshop features, but yet they still have a lot of their own features to customize it for map building or word development. So as you want to see here, I'm gonna show you a couple of my failed maps of Terrasnay. I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom. I even did one for my science fiction book called Sierra Alpha Prime. As you can see, what map I'm gonna show you this one. This was like my very first map that I just did here, and it was totally horrible. Um, not first of all, it was like this. Like, it was my first time using the project. I was just excited, trying to figure things out, all this other stuff. And I kind of like, it really wasn't a. It was my first run, so as they say, once you once you fail at one thing, because I like this, your first map or anything you try for the first time, I guarantee you, unless you're a one hit wonder or instant hit wonder, you're going to fail. And which is what this is one of my maps I have failed at. I'm gonna take it back here, go to my next other maps. As you can see, Terrasnay, excuse me, have a problem scrolling here. The first map of Terrasnay, not so good. You can see right here, not so good. I pretty much again wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking big enough. I was just I was very thinking simplistic, just trying to get a good map going and stuff like that, or get a map going. And I decided, say, what, this needs to be more than what it needs to be. Yeah, very horrible. You know, I haven't kept some of the regions here, but pretty much like it just was not coming together. So I decided to do it again. Give me 1 second. I'm kind of getting distracted for this notification here. Okay, so pretty much I'm going to go to the next map of Terrace Day. Try to get a little bit better at it. You know, um, I was this is probably my third or fourth attempt in designing Terrace Day, and I'm just waiting for the image to load here. And as you can see, we'll see that it really was a good job again. I was not thinking the world needed to be a bigger place. You can see a lot of things is like congested here on the sides here and stuff like that. Even the middle part, it just I really wasn't thinking. It looks really constricted and design when you design a map. Honestly, but I have learned over the years, well, not years, but in a year, that your world should not look too congested. So I'm gonna skip ahead to some more. Maybe show you a couple of more. Again, was not this map here. I wasn't thinking on a major scale. It just like I said, everything looks too together. Like everything just crushed and took one big massive landmass and just crushed it together, as you will see here. And pretty much like even though I haven't, you may not, I don't know if you see my face, but I kind of got a little cringe look. It's like, wow, I redesigned this garbage. um, you know, but my intentions are still there. Was still there. So I said, you know what, you know, and pretty much I didn't even finish this map. I pretty much just, you see up here, like just barren here. I just, I just trashed, just trashed it. You know, little shell of this map here. So yeah, there's many others like this map here. I try to say, what, I try to do more of a, all these other maps here just failed. Until I came up with this final map design here of Terrace Nay. Let me see if this is the latest one. Here we go. This is the one I want to show you right here. So pretty much like this was like the version. This is not the final version, but this was the version. Um, I pretty much was kind of like very happy to happy to keep. Right now, I'm just waiting for the map to upload. Just give me 1 second. And I was very happy for basically try to this was the map I was gonna stay true to. I still had more designing to do, but I said, I just worry about other stuff. But I was kind of comfortable with the landmass that I created. This is the map you see in the final video. Of course, I made some adjustments and additions to it. I'm not done with it, as far as like because what I mean by this, like when I'm not done with it, it's like because like as I have more ideas, like I see that there's room for more landmass. I'm not going to congest it out. Even if I do add more landmass, I probably will extend the map out, like make the map bigger in order to compensate for the land mass. So this is like the final map that you see here. So anyway, so let's get started with designing a map, right? So pretty much, you saw the horrible maps. Of course, I changed the colors. I started working on new maps here. You can see here, some stuff like I'm just forming land mass and stuff like that. So pretty much like one thing I would say when you start a new map, you go to incarnate.com. You can do two things. You could, of course, like I'm kind of getting lost here. Pretty much like when you start a map, you create a new map, and it gives you an option. Like it gives you an option of a fantasy battle map, watercolor battle maps, fantasy regions. And which I'm going to really get into this one day. Like actually designing a. This is more like for designing a town or designing a city. This is more like an overview, and this is more like a 3D version. You have your world parchment map, and you have your fantasy world map. Parchment is a little bit more like map that look more like the 8, 15, 16 hundreds. 1600 era. If you choose to go with that map. Depending on how old your RAM is or how you want to perceive your RAM. And here you have more of a colorful map, a fantasy colorful map. And pretty much the color, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do a parchment, and I'm going to choose the style I want. Pretty much they offer you the styles that you want to choose. Pretty much it's pretty good. And my thing is this: I'm going to choose a map. I think the map I haven't done before. I haven't done this color map here. So pretty much I'm going to choose the style here. So now when choosing this style, it pretty much you have these options of choosing the resolution and the size and stuff like that. I'm going to choose Ultra K because pretty much the reason why, even though Ultra K is very high, Ultra K is very detailed. Giving you detail when you push out the map in a JPEG format. And pretty much pretty much with that, it's like pretty much like we print it out, you'll be able to see every detail within that map. Pretty much also you have other options like you got landscape, you got portrait, square, custom row. Normally I would choose custom row, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to choose landscape. The reason why I normally choose custom row is because the fact is that pretty much I like to resize I like to adjust the size of my map. But however, though, like regardless of what you do here, you can always resize your map once you go resize the aspect ratio and put it that way when when you are getting ready to. If you desire a bigger world or larger landmass or whatever you choose to do with that map. So I'm going to choose this and let's see, choose that here. Also, make sure you understand HD is an experimental feature. So this is experimental, and also regardless, like make sure you have enough RAM. They said recommended is 2D is 2K, but like I said, I'm a little bit hard headed. I'm a little bit extreme with this. I'm going to go with Ultra 4K. So let's click understand and create the map. Now, this is going to do is like it's going to generate the landmass for you when you already have a custom, and pretty much like I'm not really a big fan of that. With most maps, but fortunately I was a little bit more fortunate not to have anything generated for me. So this is what we will start off with. Now, like I said before, I don't like the size of this. Like I said, I should have went larger, and that's what I'm going to do. I pretty much like my maps a little bit more have more width. So if you ever choose something like this, and you like I say, if you like late in experience, late in designing your project, as far as like having most of the stuff done, like you've done a lot of work and you don't want to start over, you can always come up here. But first of all, make sure you save your map. You want to save it. I'm going to call this the RAM. I don't know, Somnus, whatever. Somnus. Well, no, that's Final Fantasy. Let's get my own. I will call this world. What's a good world name? How about this? Okay, it's just a fantasy. Whatever. Just always give your RAM a fantasy name. There ain't no. You can't have no fantasy map with names that already exist in our world today or on another planet. As far as like or that's already has been done. Always want to come up with your own unique name. You know. For you thoughts out there, you can have a round called Twerkivaria, twerking, round where they do all twerking and whatever. you know, little nerd humor. But anyway, so pretty much what I'm gonna do is I want to resize this map here. And it said start dragging and select the region. So I always go outside my map here, and I kind of like push it over as far as I can. You can go further than this, but I guess this should be fine. I always go out the borders a little bit, and bam, it gives you a little outline like a crop mark, but this is more like a editing mark here. So we're going to confirm and save and proceed, which I already done that, and give it a minute. It's going to reprocess, and while that reprocess, I'm going to check my messages here. Also, give me bear with me because like I am trying to have chat like live chat here. I'm still working on setting that up. So yeah. Okay, so pretty much like here we go. The map is bigger. I'm going to zoom out. You can see that I'm still not satisfied. It seems these a little bit longer at the bottom, so I'm going to add more to that. You know, let's see, resize map. Okay, they want me to. Okay, so I have to save it again. Save. Okay. And I'm only going to do like one land, maybe a couple of land mass, just to, just to set things down. Like, set the base structure of the land mass down first. Starting with the ocean and with the lighter areas around the land mass, stuff like that. And then maybe the next video, if this video does really well, I'm going to add like borders to nations and stuff like that. After I add the biomes, the terrain, it's gonna be some fun stuff. All right, we're just waiting for this to. Okay, I'm gonna drag it just down a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. All right. Let's see if I can find my messenger real quick. I gotta bring that up. All right. Well, my messenger's not up. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Okay, that'll work. Excuse me, I hit my mic here. That will work. Okay, so pretty much like what's gonna happen here. Like I'm gonna center this real quick. Um, let me see if I can find the hand tool. Let me see. No, there we go. All right. Now, as I was saying before, pretty much, I feel like this platform, is set up like YouTube. Not YouTube. Photoshop. As you can see, you have your tools right here. Of course, you can see the difference. Like if you're a Photoshop user, you don't see these tools here. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is this. Number one is that I'm gonna change the color of the water, and pretty much like here, you have your mask tool, and you have your color tool, your brush tool. Let's go here, and in this part here, you like this is where you form your land mass, but this is not the one I want to get right now. I want to get the brush tool. Here we go. So pretty much like this is like whatever color this is. So if you want to change the background, make sure you click on the background here, and that will allow you to change the color of your ocean. And we're going to open catalog, and pretty much like this is like very amazing. Pretty much it gives you a catalog of colors that you can use, or the textures. I'm going to go to different ones. Like even though this is not a battle, this is not a map. A watercolor map. It still allows you to bring stuff over. Let's see. And pretty much like this is very good because it has a lot of assets that you can use to make your map. So um, let me see. I want something a little bit more. And sometimes this, some stuff just repeats over. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to choose a darker. Let's choose this right here. I like this rich quarter. I'm gonna choose this darker color here. I like that. It has a lot of colors in it. And I'm gonna choose the size of my brush. The reason why, because I want to cover the whole area. And I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click and just hold down. And as you can see, the background is changing. Now the only thing that I kind of like wish it had, I wish it had like with Photoshop, that you can click it, you can just do a quick click and mask. What's it called, like a mask tool or like a quick selection tool. Okay, I'll change my mind. This, I want my water to be a little bit more. I want it darker, but I want it more subtle. So let's try something different here. We're gonna try something a little more subtle here, if we can find something. If not, then we're just gonna choose the best. Also, sometimes it's just best. Also, you don't have to use textures too. Sometimes you can just let's go back out. I'll show you. Leave it saved. Also, what you can do, you can just use straight up colors. Also, it's going to load every time. Every time you click back and forth. Okay, so pretty much. I don't know. Let's see if I can get well. But some of my map resized on its own, so I'm not even going to resize it. I'm just let it be as is right now. Just work what I have. So pretty much, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to my brush tool and I'm going to choose color. There's colors here you can choose. I want to choose. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to be more like a sea-ish green. As you know, right how I'm moving the color slider back a little bit. All right, let me see if we go darker down here. Let's give it more blue. That should work. And make sure the background, again, make sure the background is selected. Choose the size so I can be quicker with it. And I'm only doing this so because pretty much like I have like my eyes are like going bad. I gotta have a contrast between the light colors and dark colors. So just want to get that in there right there. Now I could always go and add add ocean currents or some texture to show there's an ocean and stuff like that. But this is like gonna be one of the basic maps I'm just doing right now. Not trying to get too much into it. Also, so now next what I'm going to do is this. Like now that I have my area, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to, well, not zoom in yet. I'm going to do some adding here, and I'm going to choose the uh, size of, I'm going to add some landmass here. So pretty much what you have here is like, of course, you have clear all form. Like, it clears the entire mass. Making only the background visible. You can fill in all. I should have used that. I could fill the whole four. Anyway, I could have used that. Wow. Also, this is your circular. This is more like a shape edger, like basically like it gives you that rugged landmass. I really like using this because pretty much like there's no perfect landmass though. If you look on the map, you see how jagged the world is with the continents and other landmass stuff like that. This is more like a circular edge, and I use this pretty much like to like if I need to go a little bit more detail with the rivers or lakes or bodies of water that's more like inland. I use this, which we'll see in the future. I don't use these here. This is more like grid blocks. Grid blocks that just adds land mass, in a geometric pattern and stuff. You got your bucket field. Of course, you have more shapes here. So I'm just going to click add. Also you can choose the roughness of your landmass. So I'm just going to leave it at 8. Also, you got your advanced settings down here, with your strokes, and we'll play around with that later. So let's just get started off and just start, just coming up with stuff from my mind and stuff like that. Just go at random. I'm going to say this, like, when designing a landmass, and I'm going to say this, like, don't worry about that. I kind of like went over the format. So I'm gonna show you how to fix that in a minute. So as you know, you can create these land masks. It doesn't really have to be perfect. At the moment, like sometimes you just want to have something created while you work. I can fix that as well. It also give it time to pop in because the fact is like pretty much like this is HD and my RAM is trying to catch up with the with everything that's going on here. So I'm gonna go down a bit, create a smaller, like maybe some islands, smaller land mass with maybe more continents, here. And like I said before, if you feel like your world is too small, you know like you can always like resize your map. Shouldn't be a problem. All right. So I'm gonna fix. Okay, so I got what I want. I'm gonna fix this part here with the blue ocean and stuff like that. I'm still gonna add more islands. It's just right now just bothering my eyes. So I'm gonna fix that foreground. Let me see what I can do foreground. I'm gonna get a foreground a better texture than that. So I'm gonna use. I'll tell you what. Let's use green. I'm going to use a green texture. So I'm going to open up the catalog again and pretty much look through the assets, or the texture assets that they have here. And I'm going to add some like maybe like green, darker green or something like that. Pretty much give it texture. But first of all, yeah, I'm gonna give it texture. So pretty much I'm just gonna go over this stuff here. I don't like that, so I'm gonna get another color, another texture. Excuse me. But I really like how vibrant it looks because it does give an idea of like a forest. So let me see if I can find something that's a little more subtle. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's give it a. Let's make it dirt. Just make it dirt for now because I'm gonna clean that up. Matter of fact, let's just do this. I'm just gonna make it barren right now. Give it a barren color, and I'll just go back here and fix it up when I get a chance. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go through the whole map to make sure that whatever foreground, the foreground of the continents are the same color. And I just do this just to make sure, cause like and if I miss it, that's fine. I can always go back in and change it up. Everything's not set in stone. Maybe I add a small island, chain of islands right here, maybe like archipelago, you know. And this is what I'm saying. Like you also gotta be careful. Like you don't want to overdo it. You know, especially if you have a smaller map. I mean, yeah, working on a smaller aspect ratio of a map. So I mean, this is not perfect, but sometimes like it's like the maps don't have to be perfect. And so say if you want to take away something from the map, right? You can always go in, push back. And also what I like to do is too, like sometimes I like to separate landmass too. Like say for example, like I don't want that part here. I just want this to be like a lonely island up here. You can do that, or you can create an ocean away island. It's totally up to you how you want to deal with things. Like because a lot of times like whatever landmass that I create, I always go back in and just take some stuff away. I say, this doesn't look believable in a way. But what is believable? What is believable when of course like I said, there's no landmass form just because it's natural. And I just want the landmass to look natural as possible. And also, I do want some space between the nations. If I ever choose like make these nations and stuff like that. Now, also, what I'm going to do is this too. Normally I work large, like very large, with labeling territories. But this time I'm going to start setting up borders. So I can get more in depth. Like say for example, like there might be like two or three countries on one continent, of course, and that's reality. There are a lot more countries, on just one continent. But so, like for example, I could probably throw three territories up in this bottom part here, maybe five, of course, maybe a little seven here. With small pockets of villages or civilization, and this might be just a lonely island by itself, like a nation of its own. Unknown to the world. Like I said, whatever story that you decide to do, you can most definitely, get much out of it, out of designing the map. And I also like to say this, stating this as well, like like if you're writing a fantasy story, I know I can only speak for myself, but having a fantasy map actually helped me create the words to my writing. As far as where's the character going, where's the nations located, what's the culture like, again those are the questions that that well, actually a map have answered for me, when I was creating the terrace name map. So yeah. So yeah, just pretty much it. I just like to go in, just make corrections and knock some stuff out, and here like just to make it believable. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to add the biomes, and I'm going to base the biomes according to our world, um, pretty much. It's just one of the things that that I like to do. So pretty much, well, first of all, I'm going to cover this area maybe with a light texture. I'm going to drop the opacity of the texture, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Well, I'm going to show you right now, because that's what we want to do. I'm going to make sure I click on add, and I'm going to go to, I'm in the wrong one. I'm going to, let's go to textures, open up textures. So right now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to add I want to add a green, right? Of course, you got moss for battle maps. Okay, let's try fantasy regional, see what they have. And and you're going to go back and forth, in between the maps just to just to find what you need, which is nothing wrong with it. Okay, let's add some grassland. Here we go. So let's add some grassland. So pretty much, I'm going to hold that down and just cover some parts up. Now I'm not going to do a lot of grassland because I do want to keep some, maybe have a desert here somewhere. So I may just go back and do a takeaway. Maybe I can do a desert or a tropical region here somewhere. Of course, I want the islands to be a tropical. I'll figure that out later where I want my desert. You know, desert could be the east, be an eastern desert, western desert, whatever. It could be a desert here, We'll figure it out. Even if I have to go back in and rework some things, I most definitely will. All right, so here's what's so pretty much like as I said before, I want to like start adding the biomes here. So pretty much I want this to be a frigid region here, but it's gonna be very very cold. So pretty much like what I like to do is this, like normally with colder regions I like to add more darker blues, to it just drop the opacity. So I'm gonna go back in here, open my catalog, and I'm just gonna find not water, but I'm gonna find something called that looks like more like snow, like a dark color rock, or like a dark bluish rocky color. So of course they give you winter patterns here, but we're not gonna mess with that yet or at all. We just play around with things as is needed. Hmm. Okay, so here it is. Like I want to choose, but this is barren black. I want something more barren blue. Of course, you can choose snow and ice. This always works, but it may not work. But here's the thing about it though: is like one thing you can do is this too. You can always do layering. Layering color too. So let's do that. Let's have some fun. And also, do not be afraid. Right now I'm lowering my opacity, so get that in there. Okay. So pretty much, it's not doing much right now because I don't see anything happening. So let's take a step back, and I'm gonna turn back up the pace. Now this is what they were warning you about. Like if you have like a 4K, if your work is 4K, it's going to it's gonna take a minute. We're just gonna wait. There we go. Let me see if I can lower this. And maybe it wasn't a good idea to do a 4K. Um, if not, then we just have to bear with it. I want to turn this up back to maybe just like 75, between 75 and 80. There we go. Now like the northern biomes. Also, I'm gonna come down a bit too, but most like the northern biomes, it's not really like dark blue. It's just a perception that we have. Okay, let me turn this on a bit, because the fact is, like, if you really understood like what's going on, is based like what is happening is that with the biomes is like it kind of gradually turns to a dark color, like a more like a bluish white hue, or maybe sometimes purple. All depends on where you at in the world. Okay, so let's add some texture here, like maybe some snow texture. You know, and see if we can give it some personality. We add some. Let's go to. Let me see where. Okay, let's go to brush. There we go. And sometimes it can be confusing the app, because like there's a lot of stuff on here, a lot of great stuff. But like, don't be intimidated. Okay, this might be a texture I may use. Let's see what it work, how it works. Eh, I don't like it. I mean, the reason why I don't like it is because it's just not convincing. I don't see it's convincing enough. So we wait till that play around. I might do another video where I choose a smaller resolution. So let's do this. I'm gonna open up the catalog again. There's one that has a speckling effect. Let me see. Let's try regional maps again. Cause I know there's a texture I have used before. I don't know if they took it off, but it's like um, it's pretty it was pretty good. Like layering snow. Wait a minute, is this it? Is this it? Hold up. Is that it? It's a texture that's really good, like for layering snow. Okay, snow. I think this is it. Hold up. Yeah. And matter of fact, I want to redo that because some parts I just want to catch the tip of it. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. And I'm going to take down the pasty a little bit because I don't want it too overpowering because I do have to go in and do the cities. And I'm just gonna go over just a little bit. I'm gonna throw a little tip right here. Okay, now say like you know what we missing? We need a real cold area. I mean, what I mean by a real cold area, like nothing but white, like a white land here. So I'm gonna add more to this right here. And like I said, I may matter of fact, maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe I just catch the tip a little bit. And also, like I said before, like I know I kind of like been indecisive, but this is one of the things that comes around building because the fact is like you got to you want to be precise as possible um, in your decision making as far as what you want, how you want to do your realm. And like I said, this will take a minute to understand. Like I said before, building, making a map is not easy. To from what I understand, and designing a fantasy map is really not easy. Is really harder than what people think. Especially like you're designing a whole new world. So like I said before, like I really do like I say like if you ever become a realm builder, I encourage you to. I really encourage you to be have patience. Like I said before, you're going to fail at a couple of attempts, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong in failing. Like just keep trying. Okay, as again, this is one of the reasons why I say be mindful of your selection here. So I'm going to do undo here, and I'm going to do a foreground here, and I'm going to just pop the tip here a little bit. Just give it some colder areas, like frigid areas. And like I said, I may expand this map out a little bit more. You know, just to I may expand it out more just so I can maybe get more land mass, or like I said before, I want my realm to breathe. I may expand it out on the side here just so it to breathe. Also, what makes it too make I'm going to do too. I may make the background darker with the ocean because like because pretty much like the darker the ocean the better because it really will make your landmass stand out, which is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna go back over here and add some more darker shades of forest. In the middle part here. I'm gonna make this more like a foresty area here. Maybe it's a forest area here. And like I said, I'm gonna create all my biomes all at once. I'm gonna make a desert right now. They got a desert texture here, which I really like. It's gonna be lighter than that. Let me see. Okay, this is a good one. And I always choose like maybe a stained color or something. Yes, and like I said, it's okay. Don't be scared. If thing, don't you know you always want to give your map some personality. You know. All right. I'm gonna add more darker shade here, for like maybe thick, lusher forest. And when I add the other assets like trees, you'll see the reason why. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna turn this up just a bit. And let me see, bring out the grasslands a little bit more. Also, I'm gonna add some lighter shades down here, maybe like more like a vivid area. Just clean it up just a tad bit, just to give it more personality. All right. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add more landmass in the next video. Matter of fact, I add more right now. Um, just because of reason, because like I said, it does look a little congested here, and I want to maybe there's like a far away. Matter of fact, let's do it. Let's work on it. Let's do it right now. Let's see if I first of all we gotta save it. Here we go. Yeah, excuse me. With the snorting, I got sinus problems. The state of Georgia is not too kind with the pollen here. And I've been having runny nose for the past couple of days and everything. It's just wild. All right, here we go. If you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and also if you choose to donate, um, you can also hit the Cash App. If there should be a Cash App here. If not, let me do it right. Well, let me see. Just bear with me. Well, I'll tell you what. My next video will have a Cash App, but when I have that Cash App, I do encourage you to hit that real quick. I'm not asking too much. Maybe a dollar. $2. If you got 10, bring it. You got 100. You part of my family. Anyway, you part of my family right now. Regardless, you are. If you're enjoying the Etherealverse channel, you know I am very grateful that you decided to come aboard anyway. All right, so this is gonna take a minute to render out. You know, and I may have to go in with the blue, with the bluish color to fill in some spots, which is fine. You know, yeah, we're gonna make a big ass ice country up and like far up like up north at the top. Yeah, you can see like when the map expands out, it's gonna expand to the original color of the background. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. We're gonna go to okay. Also, you gotta be careful when recently used stuff do get replaced. So let's go to color. Maybe it's in color. Oh, here we go. All right. So that's pop it, Jerry Curl, and I think I'm on. Yeah, I am on. I think I'm on. Yeah, foreground. Make sure you remember. I kind of forget to do that a lot. Yeah, we're gonna see now. Look at that. We got more room to work with. I might even erase this country down here and do another one. You know, make sure you get the edges. So yeah, I'm gonna erase that. So we have more breathing space. And I'm gonna replace it with smaller broken off areas here that they maybe used to be part of part of the country or part of that land mass. So like I said, you don't be afraid, to erase stuff if you need to. It's all part of the creative process. So let's get rid of this here. We'll knock that out. subtract that out the way. Don't be afraid. All right. So let's add a big old ice continent right here, and we just gonna have fun with it. Okay, I'm gonna just matter of fact, I'm gonna go down a little bit because I'm gonna make sure it look like it is formed naturally. Um, I want to subtract that a little bit. Like I said, also don't put your map towards the your countries towards the edge, too much of the edge. In all graphic design work, make sure you give yourself maybe like a 1 inch border or a half inch border around, um, to make sure that you don't go out. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit because it's to uh, to avoid that. I'm not too concerned about the erasing because the fact is like I can always let's just get rid of the whole thing. We're gonna add a we're gonna maybe put it right here. Call it Frigidaria or Frigitos. Maybe add. Let me see. Like I said, you always want to go down the brush. If you want to get more details, in there. And maybe there's a you know an island up here somewhere. Who knows? Never know. In a word, in the voice of Bob Ross. Yes, all right, my friends. Maybe there's some squirrels living up here and up north, some snow squirrels. It's your world. Anybody used to watch Bob Ross back in the day? I'll tell you that used to be my show like on Saturday mornings, like when I was a teenager. I always turned to Bob Ross, like I was still doing like into Saturday cartoons, but I forgot what time Bob Ross came on back in the '90s, but Bob Ross was the man though. It's unfortunate that he died of cancer though, but I guess that's life. But I used to be a faithful watcher of Bob Ross, watching him paint. Actually, I learned how to paint from him. Learn about colors and stuff like that. Man, Bob Ross was the man. Now, here's the thing about I'm gonna do here. Maybe there's like a little straight here. Sometimes you do have little passageways between countries. You know, pretty much like for example, like uh, between Michigan and Canada, like there's a body of water, like peninsulas and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I kind of mess with it. I do want it to be larger, and also I am gonna. Matter of fact, maybe I should just bring this on a bit. Oh, when in doubt, just stretch out your map. Maybe there's like a small peninsula over here. I'm gonna take that out a bit. Like I said before, there's no rules. There's no rules to creating a realm or a country. So I got a little part here that I need to get in here. All right, so let's color this white, make the background white, or give it its texture. So we're gonna go back to brush. I'm gonna go to textures. I'm going to hit it with a dark green or a greenish blue. Turn that down a bit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn it all the way up and put it that way. That way I can get all this crap out the way. All right. Now that's part one. So part two, I'm going to add some snow. That's I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn down the opacity of that real quick. It's a little bit too strong. Kind of still too strong. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Like I said, it's up to you, like to play around with what you want, how you want it. And I'm not even work. That's too light. See, I think I'm gonna go just a tad bit. Here we go. All right, I like that. Now I'm gonna add the final touch, the snow. Matter of fact, let me bring that down a bit. Don't want to overpower too much. There you go. Hit it one more time. All right. All right, so there you go. So pretty much, we made it a quick world. Really didn't put too much thought into it. Due to it's going to be a quick video. But like I said, if you ever decide to get to fantasy map building, it's not going to take an hour to complete. Actually, completing a fantasy map could take days, weeks, months. Depending on your grind with it. Right now, I just want to create a quick video and stuff like that, show you, how it's done. I will go back in, as I said before, maybe make some changes, maybe during the second video. Right now, I just want to show you how to create a quick world, and this here you go. So in the meantime, I do thank you for joining in on the video. I hope you enjoyed the little demonstration, and come back for the second video, which I will add more. I will add more. I guess I'll start adding countries as far as like breaking off the land mass, stuff like that. We'll see. We all see. It depends on how things work out. In the meantime, I do thank you. Take care. Peace. Come again. And I do enjoy your company. Have a nice day.